In a world full of podcasts, you have choices. Make yours count. Don't miss out. Tech Pop Boom. Hey everybody, welcome to Tech Pop Boom with your hosts, Scott and Brandon. I'm Scott.
And I'm Brandon.
Today we're going to talk about some movies, some streaming shows, some regular shows, some sci-fi movies that everyone except for Brandon likes. We're going to talk about YouTube. We're going to talk about some technological crap. That's what we do here. We just, off the cuff, really just sit back and talk about whatever's on our mind, and hopefully you guys find it interesting. We hope that you do. Later on in the show, we'll fill you in on how to get more involved and how to support the show. But until then, Brandon, tell me what you've been up to since the last podcast.
Not much. I've been looking on this Star Wars trailer. I mean, have you seen the Star Wars trailer?
Oh, we're going to start with Star Wars?
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. We'll start with Star Wars, because I was interested. No. Have you seen the Star Wars trailer?
Are you
kidding
me?
Have
I seen the Star Let me tell you, a guy at work had told me, I wasn't really aware that they were going to, I take that back. I did know that they were going to have a new trailer, but there's a guy at work who kept sending me links, like 3 or 4 minute segments of the new trailer, and I would see these things and I'm like, oh my god, I can't wait to see this new trailer. And finally Friday came, or rather this past Monday came, and they showed the new Star Wars trailer. Oh my god, it wasn't as it was great, but I think I liked the other one better because the other one was the first appearance of Han Solo and Chewbacca in the trailer. This one also had Han Solo and Chewbacca in the trailer, but it didn't have Luke. Anyway, I could go on and on about every last detail. I absolutely loved it. And before I finish, I also want to say that as of right now, as of this recording, we're recording this on it's a Thursday, October 22nd.
Yeah.
So they premiered this trailer the previous Monday of this recording, which should have been the 20th or something like that.
Right.
19th to 20th. I watched that trailer. The movie doesn't come out until December 13th. As of right now, as of this recording, it's officially October 22nd. This past Monday, again, 5 days ago, after watching the trailer, I was so freaking excited. I went directly to my computer and I pre-ordered my tickets to Star Wars for a movie that doesn't even come out until December 18th. And the story doesn't end there. I went on Fandango and I went to, 3 to 4 different theaters, and it was so busy, Brandon. I kid you not. You couldn't even get tickets. This movie is 2 months away, and you couldn't get tickets. Finally, I've got to the one, a different site, rather a different theater, and I finally got my tickets. I got my tickets for opening day. I couldn't believe it. 8:00, December 13th, in 3D. Dude. I am so excited. I got my tickets. I have them in my hand. I got them. I pre-ordered them the next day. I went to the theater and I picked them up. I threw them in an envelope and I had them in my house. And they're just waiting there until December 18th. And I cannot wait to see this movie.
See, I don't have that reaction. I watched the trailer. I went, okay. Then I'm looking online. I'm like, okay. I don't see the excitement. I'm more excited about Hunger Games than I am about Star Wars.
Oh, it's funny you mentioned Hunger Games, because that was my next thing, is apparently Star Wars is already outsold. I guess Hunger Games had held the record for the most. Do you know? I don't even remember what the record was, but it beat out Hunger Games for some sort of record, and I want to say it had something to do with
pre-sales. I think it was pre-sales.
It had to have been pre-sales because it's not out yet, but it beat Hunger Games, which is really funny. You should mention that because it actually broke a record which Hunger Games had previously held.
Huh. Yeah, because I pre-ordered Hunger Games. I mean, not the fourth one, the last one, but the first one and the second one. I think I pre-ordered, but the third one, I'm just like, or the fourth one, I should say. I'm like, okay, I'll wait for it until later on, and then go see it.
The Star Wars movie for me, it's not just a movie. I mean, I'm 44 years old, so when the movie came out in 1979, I was 9 years old, 8 or 9 years old. When I saw it at the Gratiot Drive-In, which is a really popular drive-in, which is not around anymore, but it was a big deal at the time. and I just have I have so many vivid memories of Star Wars, of playing with the toys and watching the movies and standing in line for each and every single Star Wars for all six of them. I just have so many. So I mean, although I love the movies, it's more about memories
Do
of,
you
of the movie.
do you know when I watched Star Wars? I didn't watch Star Wars until I was in high school in '98.
And I think that's why you don't really have that much love for it, because you grew up watching Star Trek and you
Yes.
love Star Trek.
Oh yes.
But no, if it had been reversed, if you grew up watching Star Wars, obviously you'd have a lot of love for it. But you never, which surprised me, because as much as you love sci-fi movies, I'm surprised. I mean, I know you don't hate Star Wars, but I'm
No, I
surprised you
don't
don't
hate
have
it.
more. That I'm surprised you don't have more love for it than what you do, because you're a real big sci-fi geek.
Yeah, I have all the Star Wars movies. I have every one through, well, what is the next one? The
Six,
last one, one through
one
six.
through
I
six,
have
yeah.
all on DVD, one through six in particular order. So I have every single one. I just when I watch it, I don't get the same love as I get for Star Trek. If a new Star, I cannot wait for the next Star Trek. Star Trek, I was there when J.J. Abrams did the first Star Trek. I was there this first show there. Second movie, I was there. Of Star Trek. But I mean, even this one, I'll be there. But Star Wars, when the yeah, it just I don't. Am I missing something? I think that's what my question is. Am I missing something
Well,
about the new one?
you must be, because this one, the last three, I could maybe possibly understand why someone wouldn't get that excited, because they were prequels.
Yeah,
I mean, it had it's kind of the story before the story.
yeah,
But this movie takes place after Return of the Jedi. Luke Skywalker's in this movie. Han Solo is in the movie. Princess Leia, Chewbacca, C-3PO, R2-D2, all the characters you grew up watching. They're in this movie 30 whatever plus years later. It's a continuation of the story you already know, and listen, I could talk it up forever.
Okay,
And
okay. What happened to the last one? I mean, everybody's probably seen it, so we're not spoiling anything. But I can't remember what happened in the very last when didn't
Return of the Jedi.
yeah, Death Star blow up?
Yeah,
He died.
yeah,
Yeah,
or not Han. Well, Han Solo was in carbonite. And then that was Return of the Jedi? I know, rather that was Empire Strikes Back.
okay.
In Return of the Jedi, which was the last one with Han Solo, they went to the Ewok planet,
Yeah.
and the Ewoks helped them destroy the Death Star,
Okay.
because they were rebuilding the Death Star.
Yeah, that's right.
And
That's
then
right.
Darth Vader and Luke Skywalker got into that real big lightsaber duel,
Yeah.
and the Emperor was in there, and the Emperor was with Darth Vader trying to get Luke to join the dark side so they
Yes.
could rule, evil and all that crap. But then Darth Vader, after this long drawn out battle with the lightsabers, finally had enough, and he picked up the Emperor and he threw him down this endless, I don't know, hole. And he took his mask off and he died, and they burned him, and they went back to the Ewok planet, and they all had this big celebration. I mean, I'm leaving out a lot of stuff, obviously, but anyone, pretty much knows what's happening in
Yeah.
Return of the Jedi. But that's kind of where they left it. It was a big happy ending.
With the
Now,
fireworks and stuff, and the Ewoks
right,
dancing.
right,
Okay,
yeah.
maybe that's why
No,
I don't want to see it.
I had heard rumors, and I haven't seen the movie, so I have no idea. But there's books that they would release that took place after Return of the Jedi, and in these books, it had a lot to do with Han Solo and Princess Leia's kids, and Luke Skywalker. He got married and he had a kid in these books. So I assumed that this new movie would have something to do with their children. I don't know if that's the case or not. I have no idea. And another interesting thing about this preview that they just released in Star Wars is Luke isn't in it, and he wasn't in the last one. Although his voice appeared, he was a narrator of the last trailer, and it's assumed that he's in it, because there's a scene where there's a man in a cloak and he reaches out and he touches R2-D2 with his black glove, and we're assuming that it's Luke Skywalker's robot hand. But he hasn't been seen. And in this new trailer, you can see Princess Leia, you can see Han Solo, but you don't see Luke. And it's like they're going out of their way, and so everyone's wondering, where's Luke? How come he hasn't been in these trailers? They've showed everyone. It's 2 months away from the movie, but they haven't shown Luke, and people don't understand why.
Oh, well, maybe he's the guy in the cape.
Well, that's that, you don't know. You can only speculate.
Yeah, I can only speculate. Yeah, J.J. Abrams. J.J. Abrams is awesome when it comes to this stuff. What he did to Star Wars, okay, it was amazing. That's why they stole him. To do. I mean, Star Trek. What he did for Star Trek was amazing. When I saw the very first Star Trek he did, I have a friend who didn't like Star Trek. Okay, until he saw that movie, and now he was like, wow. So he tried to go back and watch the other ones, and he's like, well, it's not the same. And I'm like, yes, because J.J. Abrams changed he set the bar. He pushed the bar. So now
I agree.
Like, whoa.
The two movies J.J. Abrams did, the two Star Trek movies, I think are amazing.
Yes.
Yeah, they were. I think the second one was on Netflix. It may still be. I don't know.
I haven't.
But it was. Yeah. Anyways, they're really good movies, and I could watch them, a million times and still love them. They were really well done.
They're especially the one with Wrath of Khan. I mean, I'm not spoiling anything for those of you who haven't seen it, but it's been out for almost a year or something. No, 2 years. But
the second movie,
yeah,
the second
movie.
one.
Oh,
that was really good.
I mean, a lot of people. Well, who is Khan? It's like, oh my god, you just gotta go back and watch the second Star Trek.
Yeah.
You gotta go back because the Wrath of Khan is my favorite Star Trek movie out of all the old ones. The series of number one, Wrath of Khan, Searcher Spock, number 3.
Yeah, I never really got it. The only Star Trek movie of the original movies that I ever really liked was the one they went back in time. I guess it was to Earth and they saved the whales.
Save the whales. That's cute. That was cute. That was funny. That was more of the funny side.
I think that's why I liked it. But other than that one, I didn't really.
Yeah, other than that, I have my dad bought me a plate with that on there for my years and years ago when I want to say I was still in high school. And I still got it somewhere. It's and it has gold plate and
wow,
so
cool.
It was expensive as hell for that plate. But I just okay, I'll give you an example. When I was in school, Back to the Future was my favorite. Okay.
Oh, another good
Back
movie.
To the Future. Okay. So, as of course, Scott said the day yesterday, October 21st, 2015 was the day that Marty McFly comes back from the past to the future.
From 1955.
From 1985, actually, because he went back and then he picked up Jennifer, but he didn't stay too long because I guess you could say, but. It is funny. So I did something very cool, which I didn't think about it. So I would watch the first movie, right? So I was like, I'm gonna go watch them all because today's Back to the Future Day. So I watched the first one in 1955, blah 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 blah. Okay, because they're all on Amazon. Amazon was hyping. If you go on their page, they actually had it to where you could watch them all. So I thought that was pretty cool.
That's very cool. Yeah,
they're the only ones. Netflix didn't have it. Anything
I didn't know that.
Nope,
That's cool.
It was just Amazon. So Amazon got the right to do it because it didn't really come out until digital until that day. So these were the original ones. I don't know if you watched them yet, but at the end they say coming out and they say the movie date, which is of course 1990, coming out in 1990 something. They give you the date, at the very end of Back to the Future 2, which in the DVDs they don't do. They just say to be continued.
Right.
They change. So that's how you know it's the original. But so what I did was I did something cool. So I realized he came back at 4:30, right? It was 4:29, okay, p.m., right?
In the movie, he came back
on that day. And I thought about it, and I said, wait, Eastern. Oh, wait, he's in California. So so I went, oh, wait, okay. So what I did was about maybe 6 something. I went. Got pizza, came back, and I started the movie exactly at 7:28, 7:29. So when he says, hey, we're at Hill, when he points at the thing, it's actually the time that he actually comes back.
So did you watch the first movie, or did you watch all 3 movies?
I watched them all 3 that day. That day I watched all 3 in a row.
Yeah.
So because the first one I was at 4 something, I watched it.
Have you ever been to... Oh my God, I don't know what theme park it is, but in Florida there's a theme park. I want to say it's either Universal. I think it's Universal Studios, or maybe it's one of the Disney ones. Anyways, you can. They have the clock tower where they filmed that scene, the clock tower scene.
Oh yeah, no, I've never.
Yeah, I was there. I saw that. We were there. There's like a backlot studio tour, and you can see the clock tower where they filmed that scene. The big it's grass, but in the movie there's like a little pond and a futuristic scene where he's got the hoverboard. He's over. Anyways, that whole thing.
Wow. I wonder were people waiting
Yes,
for
that was cool.
Marty to come from the future there. I don't know. Maybe I should
Well,
have.
yeah, I was there. I was there years ago. But continue. So you watched all three movies.
Yes, I
That
watched all
must have been
three
really
yesterday.
cool. I
Yeah,
would have
yeah.
loved.
You
Yeah.
see, I watched all three on Amazon because, of course, they were there. I'm thinking about buying the Blu-ray digital version that just came out yesterday. Just because I can't find my DVDs. They're somewhere around here. I just can't find them. So anyway, I was gonna get them on Blu-ray.
Isn't there like a additional? Isn't there additional footage on the
Yes, on
Blu-ray?
the flux capacitor version, which is a little more. It's a metal 10 with the flux capacitor version. I think it has the almanac in it,
Hmm.
and the some. I think it has it's all 3 DVD movies, and plus you get the digital one too, which I like. It has some cool stuff in it. I'm thinking about getting that one. And I think it's like 80 something bucks. I forgot. It's 80 or. But Amazon has a sale as of today. Okay, there's a little tip note. I think it's going to be
Yep.
tomorrow too. For this week, you can get the digital version of Back to the Future for 20. It's regular like 40 or 50. You can get it for $29.99. All 3 movies. Yep, on Blu-ray.
Wow,
By
the
the way.
Blu the
Yep.
wow.
I don't know if it's going to go back up.
Speaking of Back to the Future, we had talked yesterday, and we were talking about that Pepsi Perfect bottle.
Yes.
They released it. No, I guess we should do a little better. The Pepsi Perfect, which I believe is in the Back to the Future 3, they released a limited edition where
Oh,
you could
2.
actually buy for 20.
Oh, it's in 2.
Pardon me?
It's in Back
Or
to
was
the
it
Future
2? I'm
2.
sorry.
Yeah.
I thought it was 3. It was in part 2. Okay, you're right. They would release this bottle as a promotion, and they had only released, I think, 6,000, and
Yeah,
they were
6,000.
supposed to release it at midnight or something,
Yeah,
but they
midnight.
released it early, and all these fans were pissed off
Which
because
I
it was a
am.
limited edition. Right, but what I want to get at, it's sold out now. You can't get them. They were selling for $20.15.
Yeah, which I want it.
But now I went online today. They're going to release another
Yes.
6,000 on
6,000.
November 3rd
November 3rd.
at
Yeah.
at 9 o'clock in the morning.
Yes. But
But
they
you
didn't
don't
say
get it like
Eastern. But they
Pepsi.
didn't say Eastern or Pacific or what time zone. I didn't
Well,
know that yet.
you'll have to go to the website. It's at Pepsi's website.
They didn't say Eastern. Did they say Eastern? Hopefully they corrected that because I wrote to say
I
Eastern
I don't
Pacific
know.
what? Because those things went by so quick. And
Yeah.
I mean, okay. So I wanted the bottle really bad. So I was
Mhm.
on my phone, I had my Amazon app, refreshing to see if it would come up.
Mhm.
It did not post at all. If it would have posted in the search, I would have grabbed one. So what I didn't know was that they are already sold out. So it says it didn't say pre-order. First it said. First, I couldn't find it. Let's just begin that. So I said, okay, I'm a little too early. About 12 o'clock, I hit the refresh button. Nothing. Okay, I go do what I need to do. Come back, refresh it again. Nothing. Okay, I come back and the thing. And so it came up eventually at around 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock. So I'm thinking, oh, okay, they're saying Pacific time. Got it. Okay, so I go and I try to order it. Every time I try to order it, it would say, well, cannot fulfill order, blah, 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 check back in a few minutes. Cannot fulfill order, check back in a few minutes. I'm like, oh, come on. So Walmart had it. So I jumped on Walmart's site, but they were sold out because I didn't go there first, because of course they only got I think they only got like 1,000 of them, and then Amazon had the most. So I just and then I find out that they were early. I was just as mad. If you go on our
Yeah.
actually you could go on Amazon, type in Pepsi Perfect, you will see how many people are
Yep.
pissed. I mean, it's like 89% that gave it a one.
Yeah,
one
there's a
star.
lot of people upset about that.
I was upset. I was like,
It's cool. Yeah, it looked really cool. The bottle, and it came with the little, like a little glass case that surrounded it or something.
Yeah. And
It
some
looked
people,
really nice. And for $20, it would have been cool to have.
yeah, because in Marty he paid 50 in Back to the Future, too. He paid,
Did he really? Oh,
yeah,
that's
he
funny.
paid 50 for that bottle. Remember, he gave him a 50, and he says, "Yeah, go and get you a Pepsi, blah blah," and he puts the 50 down, because he didn't have any more money. He's all I want is a Pepsi per. Wait. All I want is a Pepsi. Yeah. It was $50 for that Pepsi.
Yeah,
Which okay,
that's funny.
I guess with inflation, it's supposed to be. I guess it's supposed to be really high now in 2015. But I was really the reason why Back to the Future is so endearing, like Star Wars to you, is like Back to the Future to me, is because
Yeah.
when I was
Sure,
a kid,
yeah.
that was probably the first science fiction movie I saw, because I was probably 8 or 9. I think it was 9 or 8, because I remember the
Yeah.
first, and I saw the first one. The second was in movies, so it had to be 1989. Okay, so whatever age I was then, because I remember going, I wanted to go to the movies to see the second one, because the second one hasn't out. But I saw the first one cable, and I'm telling you that's why I'm so like into Back to the Future. That's why I just today, yes, today was like a holiday for me. I
Now,
did.
do you think, because of all this hype of Back to the Future these last couple of days, I had read somewhere, or maybe it was you, maybe you posted something on Facebook, but I thought I read it somewhere else that there's talk about the film making a fourth Back to the Future.
Yeah.
Is there any truth to that at all?
Well, you know what they did? I did. I think it's. I can't believe it's a Tech Pop Boom, or if it's not. If it is, I'm gonna post it. But Bob Gale at the bottom says, over his cold dead body, he will make a fourth movie. And you can't do it anyway, because
Who's Bob?
Bob Gale.
Who's Bob Gale?
Bob Gale is the one who wrote Back to the Future.
Oh, he's a writer.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's a writer and producer of Back to the Future. And then Tom does. What is it? Zemeckis. I can't remember. He did. Can't remember. Bob
Zemeckis.
Yeah. He directed
Zemeckis.
it. Yeah.
Bob Zemeckis.
Yeah, he directed it. But he said there'd be cold day in hell before he'll do a fourth Back to the Future, because of the fact that it breaks every rule of writing. Because remember, at the very end, he says the end. Okay? When you do
Right.
the end, and I learned this in high school writing class, that is it. You can't go any further than that point, because it's the end of the story. You can't go back and say, I can't go back to the end. That's why it's a writer's deathbed. That's how you kill your writing, is you put the end. So there you go. Hunger Games did it. That's why she says the third and final book. He writes it right on the thing.
Yeah.
That's why you say that, because she can't go back and write another Hunger Games. Everybody say, you should write. No, she put the final. It says the end. She can't go any further in that story. If
Now, you had said you said they couldn't go back. What happened in the third movie to make it to where they couldn't go back? I don't remember.
You mean in Hunger Games, or you mean in
Back to the Future.
Oh,
Back
yeah,
to the Future.
yeah. Well, the DeLorean gets struck by
With a train.
Train, and he gets totally destroyed, and so he comes back to look, and he says, "Oh well, I guess the doc is gone," and he comes back with a big train and his family. They're talking about, right?
And the train was flying. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. He says, "Oh, you're going to the future?" And he says, "No, I've already been there."
Yeah.
I
remember that. Yeah.
Sorry, everybody. I can recite the whole movie by heart. I just like Star Wars. I guess you could recite Star Wars like that. I don't know.
It's been a while since I've seen it, but
okay.
absolutely. Yeah, I love Star Wars.
But I was going to ask you a question, and I was going to ask you, and this might be a part of the tech part, but what do you think in 30 years technology will be at? Like, everything on the internet was about how Back to the Future, what they got wrong, what they didn't predict, what they did predict. So I have my part, and I just was curious on what you think in 30 years, where will we be in technology?
Oh my God! I mean, oh jeez. I listen. You're the tech guy. You tell me. What do you think?
You know what I think? Okay, so the internet changed from back when Back to the Future 2 and 3 and all of them came out. The internet didn't kind of exist. It didn't exist the way it did. We didn't even have cell phones. We didn't have. The computers didn't do much, not like they are now. So I think the internet changed the game on everything in the computer world. So I would say our next step would be quantum computing. I think that's where that's a game changer.
What is that?
A quantum computer right now, we do in ones and zeros. All of our devices calculate, in ones and zeros, 1 and 0. Okay, that's how it's either 1 or 0 to make a bit. Okay, so
Right.
quantum computing is in a state flux. It can be either a 1 or a 0, no matter what. So let's think of this. Think of it a maze, okay? And if you have a maze, and you're a guy at the very, very beginning of the maze, and you have to get to the end of the maze. Right now, computers, you're the guy, has to go, and it has one person go through that maze, okay, to get to the end. That's why supercomputers take like hours to process data, right? Quantum computing, now you have the same maze, but you have 4 or 5 guys, and they're invisible. They can go through walls at the same time. So because there's no 1 and 0s, they can go through. There can be 4 or 5 little guys in the maze.
So basically,
answer.
okay. So what does that mean? The computer, you think it makes the computer experience faster,
Yeah,
smarter?
you could find an answer that would take eons. It would take you minutes. Think of it. Your encryption would take you a second to computer. To find your password would take you no more than 2 seconds to find your password. And it could be the longest password in the book in your computer, and you'd be able to crack it in 1 second. Because it takes 5 little guys to go through. So it's working on one answer, it's working on another answer, it's working on another answer, all at the same time. So it's literally going to find that answer in no more than 30 seconds. It would take, basically, it would be like a human mind. You're calculating things. You're looking at, like, let's say you're looking at your computer screen right now. You're also talking to me. You're also breathing. Your heart's beating. You're doing that. That would be what a quantum computer. It could do so many things at once.
Oh, okay.
The limit is
Multitasking,
possible.
but
Yeah,
a true multitask.
yeah,
Yeah.
it would be true. It would be it would be like, it's very hard to explain but think of like what you could do in artificial intelligence. Like Google Now, you could probably actually have a conversation like her. You could actually have a computer like her. That would be a quantum computer. Because she reacts, she would talk just like that. It went to her phone. That would be a quantum computer right there. But
Besides quantum computers, what else? What else do you think?
You know
Like
what?
flying cars? Do you see
No,
flying cars?
I don't see flying cars. That's way, which I wish we had them, but but flying cars I don't see happening. I see renewable energy, but it seems like people are fighting that constantly. So I guess they'll wait until our planet melts and we all die before they come up with anything renewable.
So what celebrity's going to be president in 30 years?
I don't know. I really don't know. Maybe I don't know.
Justin Bieber.
Yeah, probably it would be Justin Bieber because Reagan became president, so Justin Bieber.
And they're saying, and wasn't there a joke in in Back to the Future that Trump would be president?
Yeah, well, not Trump, but it was they were making fun of it because Biff looks like Trump.
Okay. I thought there was a reference
Because
to
in Back to
Donald
the Future
Trump.
2, he gets all that money and he built the casino.
Right. Yep.
Which I thought it was funny because I never thought of it. I was like, oh, you know what? Yeah, that's right. So they're basically saying Biff is Trump. So that was
I see.
joke.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Cool.
computers, I mean, as for cell phones, I think they won't exist. Anything physical, I think it's all going to be like I think they're probably going to put it like in Google Glasses or something like that. Maybe it might be in your eye.
Oh, that would be cool. That would be really cool. Yeah. Glasses and stuff.
Kind of
that'd
like
be awesome.
in Back to the Future. They might have been spot on, but I think they were a little off. When it came to the glasses, I think we're still a little bit ahead. I mean, a little bit behind.
I'm surprised there hasn't been more talk about that, because when that first came out, it just seemed like such a cool thing and that's they were talking about that for the longest time, and I really haven't heard much talk about that anymore.
Google Glasses? Google Glass. Oh, they're no. They're going to revive. They're actually reviving it. What they did was. They went back to the drawing board on that. Okay, you saw it. They stopped it. They were going to get rid of it, and they went back to drawing. Now they're working with this eyeglass company. I can't remember. Um,
No,
to yeah,
Luxottica.
Luxottica, yeah. That they're working with them to make actual Google glasses in that style
Oh
rather than the
wow,
cool
yeah.
futuristic style. So I guess it would be like bifocals. I don't know, but it'd probably be like where you can look down, and you can see all your data, and you can look up, or you can blink.
That's very cool. Yeah.
So yeah, but that would be distracting when you're driving, though.
Well, no more than having a cell phone in your
That's a
lap.
good point. Yeah, you're right.
Out
And
this
that would,
past weekend with my mom and my son in my car driving around, and I can't tell you how many people I've seen with their cell phone in their hand. They're driving a car and they have their face direct, like nose to nose, or nose to the screen. There's this guy. The light was green, and he was like, "There's like no cars that what should have been 3 or 4 cars space distance between him and the traffic light. There's just no cars there because the light was green. He's just sitting there reading an email. I'm in the left hand turn lane. I'm looking at this guy like, are you kidding me? Are you just like don't care?
no.
These people, it's anyway. So distracted driving, boy, I tell you what, that's a problem. But anyways,
It is. That's why I like my watch because I necessarily don't have to look over because my hands are on the steering wheel. So when it does it does like I'll alert or somebody messages me or something. All I have to
hmm
do is turn my hand, look at it, turn back, and I'm
yeah,
still. So
yep.
my hand never gets off the steering wheel. My eyes might daze off a little bit, which I don't know if that's dangerous or not because I'm going looking down, but I'm only looking down for like 3 seconds and then go back up. I
hmm
don't have to go over, grab my phone, totally put my head down, unlock the screen to look to see what it is. That's why I kind of like the watch thing. But self-driving cars will probably be the thing too. That'll be something new. That
Well, they
and
don't they kind of have a version of it now where they can parallel park on their own.
yeah, Google. Well, Google's coming out with one. I mean,
Apple's coming out with their own car
yeah,
supposedly.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I guess yeah, they are. I heard that theirs is going to be a lot more. They're going to probably end up changing. I read an article changing the whole entire dynamic of automotive. Like basically, GM, Ford, and Chrysler, well, or Fiat, I should say, are going to have to play catch up because they're.
Well, they can talk as much smack as they want to. I'll believe it when I see it.
Yeah, me too.
And if they do all that, that's all fine and dandy. But with Apple, anything they do, the markup on their stuff is so ridiculous.
It
So
is.
if they do what you just said, if they change the face of automobiles, I'm sure the cost of the car would more than make up for it.
Yes.
If they were to do that, I mean, people can't afford cars now. And if Apple were to build a car, could you? I mean, listen, I couldn't even imagine the price of it. So
It's
much so that no one's going to buy it. So if they're going to change something, and change history, great. But unless you make it accessible to people to buy, who gives a flying shit?
yeah, basically, yeah, because you're right. Unless you're a millionaire, you're not going to buy that Apple car,
Exactly.
But then, who would have ever thought people would pay $600 for a cell phone? you know?
Yeah. hmm
That's what I think that's what Steve Ballmer was laughing at. Oh, nobody's gonna the very first iPhone. Nobody's gonna pay that much for a phone. Well, look at it now. Look at they
Yeah.
pay 600, and you only get 16 gigs for that.
Tell me about it. Tell me about it.
But that was my whole thing on Back to the Future.
So what's next on the list here?
What's next on the list? Well, we could get on the shows I watched.
Okay,
Since we're
what's
on
the
it.
last show you
Okay,
watched?
so Red Oaks.
Yeah, I watched that.
Okay, so I thought it was funny because this was the show I was complaining about maybe, I don't know, maybe like 4 podcasts ago about how come they did, this is the show I would want for them to,
Oh yeah,
to do. And all of a sudden, on my, like,
it showed up out of nowhere.
yeah, it
Yeah, it
showed
just showed
up.
up.
It just showed
Yeah.
up. And I'm going, wait, because you read us a list of saying these are the ones Amazon bought, right? That was
Yeah.
not on that list. Because you said Red Dot.
Yeah, you know what? It's funny because when it showed up, I remember thinking, I didn't even realize that they had bought the show and that they were making a whole season of
Yeah,
this
you didn't
show.
say because I would have been waiting for this show. So
Yeah.
this was like a birthday present to me, by the way, because it was
I
my
didn't,
birthday when I saw it.
I didn't, and and all that being said, I didn't know about the show, but I watched the premiere. I remember watching it, so I wanted to watch any new show on like Netflix or Amazon. I'm usually pretty interested in because they're usually interesting, pretty for the most part. There's exceptions, but I watched the entire season. I think there's 10 episodes, and I got, I didn't hate it. I just thought, eh, I thought it was 80s. There was one episode they switched bodies, and it was weird because it was like real. I thought it was like a dream sequence, but it wasn't a dream sequence. It was like a real thing, and it was like really part of the show. And without giving too much away, I thought the show was just, it was okay. I was hoping it would have been better. I don't know what I could expect, and I just thought it was okay. I like the the '80s references were really fun.
Yeah.
Um, I guess cliche, but it's a show that takes place in the '80s, so I guess I was hoping for funnier. The guy who plays the father, I thought he was pretty much annoying. He was kind of annoying. I like that actor, but I think in this role, I didn't like him in this
I
role.
thought that was the purpose of him, was to be annoying.
Well, I guess, but he was too annoying. I just thought they should have had a better actor for that role. And then Jennifer Grey and him together, I just thought that was really. I like Jennifer Grey,
Yeah.
but the guy who played her husband, I just didn't think. Again, I thought that was bad, just bad casting. It didn't ruin the show. I just thought they should have picked someone better for that role.
See, I thought that was the purpose of it. It was for him to be annoying like that. Like, okay, Breaking Bad, like what's her name, Skylar. Oh my God, I hated her, but not her, but hated the character, not her, because I thought the actress who enough to make me hate her. That means that she did a very good job. The actress who did, that's why I said, man. By the end, I wanted to strangle her. I mean, I was like, oh, I can't believe Walter White hasn't killed her yet. That's what I was thinking. Because, especially when he gave away her money, that part I was thinking, oh, she's dead. but see, that's what I'm saying is that I thought that was she did such a good job. I thought of her as annoying too, but that's why I kind of took that and went and said, okay.
Well, Walter White's wife, she was annoying.
Yeah.
But then once you at some point, you kind of feel pity for her. In the beginning, like the first season, she was annoying, and she was like just whatever, just nagging wife, and then as the show progresses, you start to feel sorry for her because you realize what a jerk Walter's turning into, and what he's putting her through. So it kind of goes, it kind of moves around a little bit. But anyways, that's Breaking Bad. We could go on and talk about Breaking Bad forever.
I was just saying that.
Red Oaks, I would say it's fun. It's a fun show, but I wouldn't necessarily recommend it. I wouldn't say, hey, you got to see Red Oaks. I thought it was okay.
Yeah, me too. I thought it was okay. I loved it only because it came to me a shock. I mean, it was like one of those things where...
Me too. Yeah, it was a nice surprise, and I liked having something to look forward to. And I saw on some website today there's a bunch more series starting in the month of November. A couple on Netflix. Actually, I think they were all on Netflix, to be honest. And I should probably bring that up and find it.
We can pause. We can pause. Well, I'm about to...
Well, go ahead and... talk about whatever other show you were watching, and I'll see if I can find it.
Okay. So, I kind of liked Red Oaks. I thought, I don't know. I really liked the character. I liked the girl who played his like kind of / girlfriend / whatever. Well, I liked the girlfriend too. That was funny. But the 80s reference, I think you would like. I was thinking about that. I said, okay, Scott's gonna like this because when in the 80s, I was what? I don't know, 8, 9. Wait.
Well, 6, I graduated in 1989.
Yeah. Okay. So that was your teenage. Okay. See me, I graduate 10 years later. So the 90s would be my kind of show. When I go back, that's why I watch all these old shows from the 90s, like Sliders, Futurama. The stuff. Freaks and Geeks is another one I'm on now. Those are the 90s shows, the shows I didn't get a chance to see because there was no such thing as DVRs at the time. There were VCR tapes, and you only could record one show. So the show I would record,
that, if
no one was watching the TV, that's the other how far have we come in TV? My sister would be watching TV at the time that I wanted to record something. So whatever she was watching, I happened to see. So it was always Star Trek. It was always Star Trek Voyager. I mean, because I couldn't see Star Trek Voyager, so I would pop in my tape, set the VCR, and hopefully nobody would touch the TV to make it so it would be on something else other than Star Trek Voyager. I mean, boy, that's another one I'm going to watch too, is Star Trek Voyager. But I also, then on Netflix, there was this Jane the Virgin, okay? So I know.
Okay.
So I know, I'm like, okay, why would Brandon want to click on Jane the Virgin, right? Isn't that a girl show? Well, okay, it is. But the thing about that is that I just clicked on it just to see because it came up on my Netflix as, oh, here, new shows. I was like, okay, I've always wanted to see. But that's a show where I didn't click the second one. I don't know why I didn't click the second one. I don't know if I like that show. I mean,
Jane the Virgin?
Yeah, I don't think I like that. Only because the story seems to be so layered. And I don't like stories that are layered way too much. I like stories that are layered, but not like this. This was because, this is the first episode. I didn't even get to the second one. I didn't even turn on the second one because I was like, do I want to go further into this and get more confused, or do I want to just stop here and go to something else? And that's eventually what I did, is I stopped and went to something else. But because here's the thing. Okay, so here she go. She likes the guy that impregnates her, which accidentally, because she goes into, to get a pap smear, and in fact, they actually they in vitroed her instead of the girl, because it's a very layered story. So of course she's never had sex before, but then she finds out she's pregnant because they accidentally did this. But then the guy who's that they injected her with stuff ended up being her boss, which then but then he has cancer. See how layered the story is starting to get? So he has cancer.
Very confusing.
Yeah, so she can't get rid of the kid, because if she does, that's his only kid, and that's the only, because he had cancer, he can't have any more kids. Okay, his wife is trying to trap him. So because he wanted to get a divorce from the wife, but then then they had the boss and the girl that is pregnant with his child, which of course ends up where they actually talked before, and they actually truly like each other. Okay.
Well, you lost me. Yes, that doesn't sound like anything I would want to watch.
That's why I stopped watching it, was because it was so layered that I was like, okay, that's too much. They could have, and here's the other part why I stopped. You remember how we were talking about shows are like 13 episodes?
Yeah.
Okay, so why they did 13 was because the writing and because they try to span it out to make it 22 episodes. So they stopped doing that and they just put more money into the 13. And that's why great shows like Game of Thrones and are 13 episodes.
Yeah.
Okay. This is 22 episodes at an hour apiece.
And this is what channel is this on?
This is on actually I think it's on CW, or not CW anymore. It's something else, I forgot, but maybe it is CW.
Anyways, too much talk about a show that doesn't even sound interesting. Let's move on. I just found the three shows that are going to be appearing in November on Netflix, and these actually look really, or at least they all sound pretty good. There's a show coming up on Netflix starting November 20th called Jessica Jones. It says Jessica Jones stars Kristen Ritter. Kristen Ritter was in Breaking Bad. She played Jesse's girlfriend who OD'd and died. It says Jones is a former superheroine turned private investigator with a haunted past. Set in Hell's Kitchen, like Daredevil. It's only a matter of time before we get a crossover with the Marvel heroes, and Jones' marriage to Luke Cage will lead to Cage's own original series on Netflix. That's called Jessica Jones. It's a comic book type thing. It looks pretty cool to me. So that's November 20th, and that's a Netflix exclusive.
Okay.
There's another one coming up called Master of None, and that starts November 6th. That stars, I can't say this guy's name, but he was on, what's the show? Not The Office, Parks and Recreation. He's on Parks and Recreation. Aziz Ansari, I murdered the guy's name. I don't know if you know him. Anyways, it says, Aziz Ansari regularly broaches the subject of relationships in his work, and Master of None looks to extend that conversation. Ansari plays Dev, a New York actor traversing the choppy waters of racism, stereotypes, and, of course, companionship. Ansari was excellent in Parks and Rec, so expecting big things from this Netflix original. That's called Master of None. And you can watch trailers. Actually, maybe I'll post this on Tech Pop Boom, so if you're interested, you can watch these the trailers. But that one looks pretty decent too. Here's another one. I don't know if you remember. There used to be a show on HBO called Mr. Show, and it starred Breaking Bad himself. Not Breaking Bad himself. Well, he was in Breaking Bad. Better Call Saul. Bob Odenkirk, and what's the other guy's name? David Cross. It was called Mr. Show, and it was on HBO. It was like a comedy show. Well, they have a new show coming out on Netflix called With Bob and David. It says, with a resume that includes Saturday Night Live, The Ben Stiller Show, and HBO's Mr. Show, Bob Odenkirk and David Cross are veterans of the sketch comedy game. Since the later program, Odenkirk and Cross have starred in and written a gaggle of projects, and Odenkirk even garnered an Emmy nomination for Better Call Saul. Back together again, you can expect the comedy team to don ridiculous outfits and skewer just about every pop culture trope while refreshing your queue of masturbation jokes. So that's called With Bob and David. So those are 3 new shows appearing in November on Netflix. And I have to say, all 3 of them, according to the trailers on this site, look very good. And I'm looking forward to seeing all of them.
I'll have to look at that. I mean, you have to post it. Post it so I can see that. So I can see it too.
Okay, will do. I will do that right now.
Okay. I mean, especially, and also I'm waiting for, what's that other one we keep on talking about? Man in the High Castle.
And that they are premiering episode 2. I want to say it's this weekend, Brandon.
You gotta be kidding me! Oh, yes.
You can watch episode 1 and episode 2. Now I know that there's a date, but I can't remember what date they said. And I want to say I could be wrong. We'll have to look that one up. But I thought it was coming up soon, anyways.
I think it was November 20th. Or you mean the full? You mean the full show, right?
No. The whole series comes out on the 20th. But they're going to premiere the first 2 episodes. So you could actually. Yeah, you could watch it. Yeah.
I'm clicking right now. Okay, I thought this was the second one. It comes out November 20th, the whole thing. But The Man in High School Season 1 is available. No, I don't see it.
Well, I'll see if I can find. I thought I wrote it down.
I would so.
Well, I know I read that. I'll find it and I'll put it on Tech Pop Boom. But by the time this episode comes out, by the time you listen to this, it'll be November 20th anyway, so it won't even matter.
Yeah. Well, November 20th is a month away.
By the time people listen to this show,
Yeah, it might be past November 20th. But that's another one I can't wait for. But I just was that's one show that I watched it again, by the way. I watched it again, just the first episode again, and I'm thinking, man, why do I have to wait? That's why I can't believe how you guys were watching Breaking Bad and how I could not have watched it with you guys waiting week to week.
Yeah.
I just couldn't have done that. It would have been on my mind every week. Okay, I gotta go watch it. But let me see here. Is there any other shows you wanted to talk about?
It's funny you should say that. Yeah, I was doing some research and something to watch on Netflix, and I came across a show called The Return. Have you watched that?
No.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
Well, apparently it's based on I'm guessing it's a British show. I didn't see the original, but it's a remake of. I'm assuming it's a British show. It takes place in modern day and somewhere, and the show starts off where there's a bus full of school kids, and they're driving on this road, a curvy road, like off the side of a cliff or something, or a big hill, not a cliff, but a big hill. And the show starts off them driving, and there's a bunch of confusion going on in the bus. Something happens, the driver loses control of the bus, and the bus goes over this big cliff. And apparently, everyone on this bus, all the kids, and everyone, they die. That's and then what happens, and the show progresses to 4 years later, and like the parents are in this support group, and they're trying to, it's been 4 years later, so they're better with the situation, but still they have this support group, and they're talking about it. And basically what happens is everyone, and I haven't finished watching the show yet, I'm only on like episode 3 or 4. One day, one of the parents, she's in her house, she's in one room, and then she hears this noise. So she says, "What's that noise?" And she goes in the kitchen, and her daughter, who was one of the students on the bus, she's just right there. "Oh, hi, Ma, how are you? Sorry it took me so long to get home, but something, and the bus broke down. It took me 2 hours to walk home." So all these kids slowly, after 4 years, they slowly start to return back home, and it's like it's just really weird, because if you haven't seen someone in 4 years, my reaction would be like, "Oh my God, what the heck? I thought you were dead. I saw your dead body.
Right.
What are you doing here?" But they don't react like that. They're just like. Anyways, I guess you'd have to watch the show. And and that being said, it's not on Netflix. Well, there is a version of The Return on Netflix, but I think it's French. I think it's French because it's in subtitles. So there's that one, but the one I'm watching, it was on A&E. Season 2 starts around Halloween, so I suppose you could probably DVR the first season. But I'm watching it through a website that it's not Netflix and it's not even Amazon. You could probably pay for it. At any rate. It's called The Return, and it's on I think it's A&E or AMC, either AMC or A&E. I don't know, because I'm not watching on either one of those channels. I'm watching it through a website, and I don't know that it's great. I don't even know that it's still pretty early into the show. I'm only on the 3rd or 4th episode, and I like the premise that all these kids die, and all of a sudden after 4 years they just show up, and it's interesting. It's definitely interesting. So check out The Return. It's pretty cool.
Okay. I'll have to look at it, because it seems like it's one of those scary type of weird, scary things.
I mean, there's blood. It's not scary. At least it hasn't been up to this point. There is murder, a little blood involved, but it's not like that American Horror Story. It's not a blood and guts type of show. It's just a dramatic kind of a thing. So it's not bad, Brandon.
Okay. I'll check it out. It's on Netflix, or it's on A&E, or?
Well, neither. It's not on either one. You could probably purchase the season if you wanted to on Amazon, but I don't. I wouldn't. I would if Brian, if you're interested in watching this show, let me know and I'll send you the link of the website I'm watching it from.
Maybe not.
Mm-hmm. So that's what I had. That's what I was watching.
Cool. Any other show? Because I'm trying to think of a show, but that's basically it for me.
Before we go any further, let's just try to tell everyone how they can support the show. If you've gotten this far on the show and you like it, you're interested in what we're talking about, if you like the show, please go to our website at www.techpopboom. Through our website, you can every episode we've recorded is on the website along with all the show notes. And besides that, we have links to Facebook, Google+, YouTube, and iTunes. If you have an opportunity, please go there and go to our Facebook page. When you're on our Facebook page, hit the like button. And then anything we talk about on the show and more, the Facebook is the best way to keep up with us on the show. We post a lot of information there. Google Plus, the same thing. YouTube, every episode again is available on YouTube if that tickles your fancy. Also, what we would love for you to do is go to iTunes. Go to iTunes and find our show. Go to the search box, type up Tech Pop Boom, and hit the subscribe button. Once you do that, any show we record will automatically show up in your device, and it'll just be there for you to listen to. And when you're done, you can delete it, and it won't take up any space, and you're good to go. So that's the best way to get a hold of us. www.techpopboom.com. Facebook, YouTube, Google Plus, and iTunes. So thank you.
All right there. Yeah, you can just go to Tech Pop Boom and click on it.
Mm-hmm.
So, my tech news here. Have you heard about YouTube Red?
I have, but I don't know anything about it.
Okay, so what YouTube is just starting to do is normally when you're on YouTube, it's ad supported. So you get little ads at the bottom, depending on, and all this other stuff, right? And a lot of content providers, you get sometimes at the bar, you get the little bottom, it says click here, and I'm selling you, I don't know, Pepsi or something, Coke or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so right now, as of like 10:20, I think it's 10:28 or 10:26. I can probably click on it and find out. They're going to have where you pay $9.99, and you do not have to see any ads on YouTube, no matter what it is. No ads.
So that's all they're offering for $10. You get YouTube without any commercials.
No, they're offering more.
Oh, okay. What else?
So Google Play, if you have the Google Play Music, like Spotify, or, and they're all that, that is also included too. So you get unlimited music, so tons of music to download or whatever. And they're also going to add exclusive shows like Netflix and like Amazon are. So
Netflix is going to have their own TV shows?
Or YouTube is going to have their own TV shows. Yep.
I'm sorry, I said Netflix. I meant YouTube.
Yep.
YouTube. You're kidding me, really?
Yes, they're gonna go because they got Scare Swoopy or whatever that's coming out. He has his own
What's
show.
That?
It's a kind of like a horror. It's like a horror type of funny type of thing, a humor. But I'll have to post it. I have no clue what it's about.
These shows, the original shows that YouTube are going to be premiering, are these shows that currently exist? Like there's a lot of YouTube shows.
Some of them are.
You can watch.
Some of them are. Some of them are.
Will you still be able to see these shows without having to pay the $9.99?
No, I mean, they're going to be exclusive to the $9.99. Some of them are not. They said some of them will be where you have to watch ads in the middle of it. But some of them are not going to be. They're going to be probably behind the paywall. Most of them. And what they do is they're going to split it amongst the $9.99. They're going to split it amongst the content providers who decide to do that. So it's a little bit, but they said most of them want you to see it, so most of them are going to let you have ads in the middle. And it's going to go where you'll see the show, then it stops, and you'll have an ad. And then you'll see the show, more of the show, stop, and then you'll have an ad. Kind of like that. And if you paid the $9.99, you don't have to see those. It just goes straight through like Netflix and Amazon Prime. The funny part, is why I mentioned this, is I have the Google Play Music. So, I now will have YouTube Red. Totally by accident. Because...
Oh, really?
Yes, people who have the Play Store, or the Play Music, also will have... Yeah, Google Play will also have now YouTube Red. So it goes either or. If you buy the YouTube Red, you get the Google Play Store, the music. And if you have the Google Play Store, you get YouTube Red.
Yeah.
So
that doesn't sound too interesting to me.
Yes. Plus, if you're on if you're on iOS, you do have to pay. It'll be $12.99 if you go through the app.
Why?
Because Apple has a in-app purchasing tax. So
it's going to be $12.99 every month?
I think it's $12.99 every month if
No,
you
I
go
think
that
it's a
way.
one time.
Or it's a
I think it's a
one-time fee.
one time payment. I think
Pay,
it's a
yeah.
one time fee of twelve
One-time fee
ninety
is
nine.
the
Yeah.
$12.99, yeah. But it's $9.99 after that. But it's easier to avoid that $2. Just do it on the web. Just go on the web, and if you want to sign up, just
Oh, there you
and
go.
then you
Yeah.
pay the Apple tax, for that. So that's
Yeah.
that's
Yep.
the advice if you're wanting it. So I thought that was interesting. And plus, I also other features. I forgot you asked me what the other features are. As in the app, you can listen to shows when you can watch them when you stop your screen. Okay, this is on Android. It doesn't run in the background. It stops whatever you're watching, right?
Right.
Well, like our podcast, if you were like wanting to listen to our podcast and your phone and you hit the off button, to dim your screen, we stop talking. Well, with the
Right.
9.99, it doesn't do that anymore. It'll actually go in the background, just like music too, and you can watch any music video you want, of course, any music video, which they already had that before, without any ads. So that's that. I thought that was cool. But the bad part is, what if I want all our people who are on YouTube to have that feature and not pay the 9.99, because that's what I like about, or before it used to be a feature anyway, and then they cut it off. That's why I went to YouTube in the beginning, was because you could actually mute it. You could actually turn your screen off, and it would work. You know,
Hmm.
I mean, it would work still behind the background, so I could listen to whatever I wanted to in the car, on the YouTube site. And all of a sudden, they
Yeah.
just stopped that. Now I know why, because they're gonna make you pay for it. But I don't know. I just thought that was kind of shady there. I mean, they should have just had that as a feature anyway. But as I said, it'll give Apple and Spotify a run for their money, with adding that YouTube
Well, it'll be interesting
Red.
to see what happens with that one. I don't know. I don't know about that one, but see
Well,
how that goes.
I'll have it, so I'll let you know. I hope that they do like take some of those shoes off of YouTube. I mean, not YouTube, but Yahoo Scream, and put them on YouTube. That would be a good idea for them to do. Since Melissa Mayer was used to work for Google, and he knows those people. That if I were her, I would actually say, hey, you know what? I got all this. I got all this content here. Let me put it on YouTube Red,
Hmm.
and produce maybe like other space, like produce a show just for that. YouTube Red, without the commercials, of course. I don't know if she's going to do that or not, but that would be, if she listens to Tech Pop Boom. That's my little advice for you.
Yeah. There you go.
So,
So that's YouTube Red. What else you got,
YouTube Red.
Brandon?
Okay, so have you updated to Windows 10 yet?
Not yet.
Okay, well, you might not have a choice.
Why is that?
It's in the background. As of when you go back to hit the update, it will automatically update to Windows 10, and you will not have a choice.
When is that going to happen?
When your next update hits. So when you go and you hit that update, which I don't think you have yet, so that's why I'm surprised you have. That's why it's probably still Windows 7.
It is.
Yes, there are a lot of people are really mad about that. All of a sudden, they go to shut their computer down, and it all of a sudden now uploads and is starting to install Windows 10. Yeah,
Hmm.
that's not good.
Well,
Because
that's interesting. I didn't know they were going to do that.
oh yeah, they're gonna do that. But there might there are a lot of people are so angry about it. They might just have it as an option where it will come up and remind you, hey, do you want to update to Windows 10? Do you want to update to Windows 10 instead of having to force you to do it? But yes, I have an article on Tech Pop Boom on the Facebook one, actually explaining this, why they're doing it. Oh wait, hold on, it has an ad here which I don't like. Okay, so yeah, it's saying to where when you go to a Windows update, it says upgrade to Windows 10. Are you ready? And then when you hit the restart button, you're on Windows 10, whether regardless if you want it or not. And they're doing it
Hmm.
on Windows 7 and Windows 8. Yeah.
Interesting.
So if you get a surprise, it's not, and all of a sudden you turn on, you're like, what? It's Windows 10. Yeah. So yeah, you didn't install it; they installed it for you. So I thought I'd let you know about that. Did you get your ISO 9091? 9 point?
Yes, I downloaded it this morning.
Yeah.
The only difference I can see is they added a buttload of emojis.
Emojis? Yeah, you're so
Yeah,
lucky. Oh, I would love to have all those emojis.
yeah. We have the middle finger now. We have the
Oh,
heavy
yeah.
metal salute
Oh, you have the
sign.
middle
Yeah.
finger.
Skull
Oh,
and crossbones. Yeah.
oh
I sent I
man.
sent it to you this morning. I made sure to send you a bunch of middle fingers.
Yeah, and I couldn't see them, so that was good.
I sent you a screenshot though.
Yeah, you sure be serious. I saw that. I was like, oh, I'm so jealous. But
I wanted to make sure to flip you off.
yeah, you can flip me off now at any time as soon as Android decides to update theirs. See, here's the problem though. Apple can update on a whim anytime they want because they
Yep.
work with the carriers. They could do 9.1, 9.2. That's why you guys are getting updates. So in the Android world, they can't do that right away. They can, we I think I posted an article a while back on Tech Pop Boomed on the Facebook one that said, you know how people are not interested in Marshmallow. It's not like the Apple event where you guys get yours like 2 weeks later. That we gotta wait
Yeah.
90 days or like sometimes almost like 6 months before we ever see it. So it's not I mean, there's no point in getting excited about it. And the one thing I gotta say Apple did, which was so smart. Oh, I wish Google could do this. That's why I don't know why they just don't. Is say, hey, you know what? We control the phone. Stay the hell out of it. You know, we can update it. We control it. That's it. You just provide the service. But
Yeah.
carriers don't like that with Android because Android, they have to go. It's kind of like a process. Okay, and I put it on a long time ago. You can go back and review. I might post it again about the process of how HTC goes through to update a phone. So first, they got to go and they got to get the update from Google. Then they got to go and make the update. Then they got to go to the carrier. So whichever carrier, Sprint, Verizon, whatever, okay, to get them to approve it. After they approve it, then they got to get Google to approve it, okay, which Google approves it fast. But if the carrier doesn't like what's in there, then they have to go back and redo it again. So it goes to this circle. So I have a circle there, okay? So and AT&T might want something. So Verizon always has the longest time of waiting for their. So if you're on Verizon, you're not getting Marshmallow for at least about 4 or 5 months after everybody else. Because what they do is they want to add their stuff to it. They're very picky about this. So I think that's very unfair for us because we would have emojis too, but they kind of can't do that. I think it's in Marshmallow. I think I'll get the middle finger and stuff like that. But I have to wait 30 days or whatever in order to see the middle finger. You know, I mean, not that I want to see your middle finger, but when you send one, it's a block. So what did you say? You could have sent me, you know, I don't know. You could have mooned me. I don't know. I won't know.
Oh, I can definitely tell you I didn't moon you.
Yeah, I mean, you don't know. And so now it kind of sucks because it's always behind. But Windows I think, had the middle finger first. I think if you send it on Windows 10 PC, you will be able to see all those emojis. I think they did it first. So, and they can do it as on the fly too, because each build, you know, it updates in the background now. So that's pretty cool. If you have a Windows phone, you'll have all the emojis. Just Android won't, and it just makes me mad because I love emojis. You know, I like putting coffee or chocolate or, you know, whatever words I like to put. And on the new keyboard, on the Swift keyboard, it actually will, when you put the word, let's say if I put happy face, a happy face will show up to where I can click it and replace the word with happy face. I like that.
Sweet.
Yeah, that's
awesome.
It just makes me mad that you got emojis. So
well, again, Apple is a superior product,
yeah,
so it doesn't
you're
surprise me.
right, yeah. So that is it for news.
I was going to say I'm running on 17% battery
Oh,
life, so
okay,
I'm going to
okay,
we have to and we're almost an hour and a half.
Yeah, we're
Well,
almost.
before editing, by the time we edit it, won't be that long.
It
but
won't be
it's
that
going
long.
to be a
Yeah,
long
no,
episode. Yeah.
But do you have any music or any music news or?
There
anything like
is
that?
a few albums I was listening to this week. There is an album by Michael Monroe. Oh my God, I can't think of the name. Blackout. I think it's called Blackout States.
Okay.
Michael Monroe. If you like rock, I'm a big rock guy. It's great. It's just raw, full of energy. It's great. Michael Monroe, Blackout States. Another one, Dan Baird and Homemade Sin. Oh, geez, I think it's called Too Loud.
Okay.
You didn't tell me. I'm gonna have to do homework. Hold
Oh,
on.
okay. No problem.
I just had it here. Oh, wait a minute. Here it is. Uh, Dan Baird and Homemade Sin. It's called Get Loud.
Get
Get
loud.
Loud. So check out Dan Baird was the lead singer of the Georgia Satellites, and I mentioned him their another one of their albums on one of our earlier shows. But the two albums you want to check out this week, and you can't go wrong. These are great albums. Dan Baird and Homemade Sin, Get Loud, Michael Monroe, Blackout States. Two great rock and roll bands for any people who like rock and roll. So with that, we are going to wrap up this show. Thank you for listening. Thank you for your support. We appreciate you. Please check us out at our website, www.techpopboom.com. Subscribe on iTunes, and thank you for everything.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you for listening. Peace, everyone.
Bye.